Follow us at Localish. Hey, Bay Area, it's time to share some amazing stories and feel good. We could all use some inspiration right now, and you've come to the right place. This show is all about good food, good people, and good living. On today's show, go back in time to the Renaissance days.
You can meet anyone from any walk of life, from the lowliest peasant up to the very Queen of England herself, her court, or even me, William Shakespeare. To be or not to be, one of my famous ones. Or not to be, one of my famous ones.
Handcrafted popcorn made in SF.
For years I was like, oh, it's just a great hobby of mine. I like my job. I'm good with what I'm doing. But then eventually I wanted to give this a shot full time. I wanted to not have a regret later of, wow, I wish I had given popcorn a shot.
A Latin-inspired restaurant overlooks the bay.
I joke with customers all the time, like, we don't put anything on the menu that we don't love.
We obviously want everyone to have a good time. If you leave happy and full, you'll come back.
But first, an Italian getaway in the wine country.
It's one of those destinations that has had such a reputation over so many years that if you haven't been here before, you've heard something about it, and the moment you walk in, guests are immediately transported into a true destination resort. The moment you get here, the music transports you, the water wheel and the energy, all the fruit trees, there's just something, and all I can say right now is it's a vibe. A lot of our guests say that every day. It's really a vibe at Kenwood. When you arrive, we start with a glass of sparkling wine. We take you through the property on a really extensive tour, showing you the pools, showing you all of the amenities, where breakfast is located, the wine hour, and then we take you to your room. And it's not a rushed experience. It's, again, to get you fully immersed in that Kenwood vibe. We have two pools, a warming pool that's open 24 hours for adults only. We have our main pool, which is about 84 degrees. We have our spa on site, which we're expanding, adding some new treatments in the fall. And then we have, cabanas. We have afternoon wine hour where we have a different winery come in every day. And these are really good local wineries that you pay a pretty premium, to go and enjoy the wine, but here you get to enjoy that complimentary. During the wine hour, guests get to enjoy a beautiful charcuterie board that has local meats and cheeses that's really over the top, and they're very eager to get in there at 5 every day and enjoy that complimentary amenity as well. Our breakfast is something that we're very proud of. Guests are very happy to receive a complimentary breakfast that's very elevated, omelets and pancakes and waffles with fresh fruit. That's a part of our personalized service here, which I think is really what sets us apart. We're 30 rooms. We have just enough that our facility matches the amount of guests that we have, and then our staff ratio is very equal to that as well. So we really try to personalize the service. If you're celebrating a special occasion, anniversary, birthdays, we take those seriously here. So we make sure that we leave a little note in the room, some macarons that are from a local bakery as well, and other little treats just to make it special. Because we understand you can choose any property to come to, but Kenwood is known for just delivering that, high level of service. Four Sisters, all of their properties offer warm, fresh-baked cookies when you arrive. And then in the afternoon, we have guests that are always asking for them. We cannot keep enough on hand. There's nothing funnier when you see them like Christmas, going down to check on Santa's cookies. They're the same in the lobby. They'll creep down, and if there's a bowl there, they grab 2 or 3 and smile at you and go back to their room for that little late sweet treat. So this is our very Instagrammable moment, the water wheel. We have several fish in here that are growing strong, and our cute little bullfrogs that our guests name. But it's just another one of those spaces on the property that kind of transports you to somewhere else. Takes a moment to stop and reflect. And so we're really excited about this as another feature for the property that guests can enjoy. We have invested a lot in this property to bring it up to the new standards of what the new Kenwood vision is. Bringing the old and the new, not to scare away, again, our previous clientele that are used to a certain vibe here. All of the new rooms are so comfortable, but also luxurious. Brand new everything top to bottom, new interior lighting as well, and then we've upgraded a lot of our public spaces also. So very exciting time. This is our famous Jasmine Tunnel that Once you're kind of transported from the courtyard, you make your way out to the main pool area, and it really kind of creates that jaw-dropping moment that guests are really like, wow, I'm taken to another level of the property. It's a really fun spot. We welcome all types of guests, and I've worked at different resorts where you see a certain type, but here we see everyone, and they all have the same amazing experience, which truly brings smiles to all of our faces here. I have spent my entire career in hospitality and in the wine country. I think Sonoma County in particular, and Sonoma Valley, is really the next up and coming. Everyone knows Napa Valley, but there's so many more options in Sonoma County and the Valley here. So many good restaurants, so many wine options, and then lots of other fun activities like Safari West to enjoy that activity. You're 30 minutes to the beach, which is just a short drive as well. So you really have everything in one-stop shop. Everyone here comes with so much heart every single day, and they love what they do, and you can't train that. That's something that you have to want, and especially post-pandemic and all that we've all gone through with our jobs, I'm just so grateful that I have such a team who comes in every day and just wows guests continuously. It makes a big difference.
Coming up, take a journey back in time at the NorCal Renaissance Fair.
As you walk the village, you're sure to run into a colorful cast of characters at every turn, like Shakespeare.
Tomorrow, lady.
When breaking news happens, find out instantly with the ABC7 Chicago News app. Sign up for customized alerts for your neighborhood. Plus, get your AccuWeather forecast right at your fingertips. Download the ABC7 Chicago News app.
Good morning, Chicago. You know there's only one way to start your day.
That's with Eyewitness News this morning.
And Good Morning America. Everything you need to know to plan your day every day. All from the team
you trust.
Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, Chicago.
Wake up, Chicago.
Start your day with us.
Eyewitness News this morning.
And Good Morning America.
Jumpstart your morning, Chicago, with Eyewitness News and Good Morning America.
Live with Kelly and Marcus, entertainment's #1 talk show.
You're the worst Instagram boyfriend of all time.
You know why? Because I am not your boyfriend.
The ABC7 I-Team. Chuck Gotti, Jason Knowles, Samantha Chapman.
See what the I-Team uncovers next.
Only on Eyewitness News.
So my love and passion for the weather stems from my favorite childhood movie, The Wizard of Oz. I became obsessed with the tornado scene. I became obsessed with tracking storms when I was little. Studied clouds, storms, anything I could. And I actually wrote in my 8th grade yearbook, I plan to become a meteorologist, which is just crazy to me looking back. I wrote that in 8th grade, and here I am, a meteorologist in the best city in the country, Chicago.
Watch meteorologist Cheryl Scott on Eyewitness News.
He's a pillar in the community.
Welcome back to the show. Enjoy crafts, activities, food, tea with the Queen, and more at this year's NorCal Renaissance Fair.
There's fun for guests of all ages at the Renaissance Fair, and kids 12 and under get in free every weekend. Spanning more than 20 acres, the village of Willingtown comes to life with talented performers and actors roaming the grounds.
To hereby declare this fair open! Hip, hip!
There are battles, improv troupes, comedy acts, and so much more. Over the years, I've become a Ren Fair veteran, and here are some of my favorite highlights from the annual event.
Welcome indeed to the Northern California Renaissance Fair. Full 8 stages, 20 acres, feasting and drinking beyond compare, artisans and entertainment alike, all for a feast of the eyes, ear, and sound.
In order to immerse yourself in the full fair experience, you've got to play a little dress up. And Lady Janine, explain what I'm wearing.
Well, she would be a nomad of this time period, which was a traveler. You would have gone many of places and broken many a hearts, no doubt.
What are some of the other popular costumes here at the fair?
Well, you would have a traditional Renaissance wench. She would have been just a traditional peasant. She had a long life. She worked in the fields, had many, many children, should she be so lucky. And then you would have had the gypsy, which also would have been a traveler of sorts. But she would have been more of a free spirit, I would say, mayhaps shipwrecked on a foreign shore.
As you walk the village, you're sure to run into a colorful cast of characters at every turn, like Shakespeare.
Good morrow, lady.
Shakespeare, who could we see?
You can meet anyone from any walk of life, from the lowliest peasant up to the very Queen of England herself, her court, or even me, William Shakespeare. To be or not to be, one of my famous ones.
It wouldn't be a day of play without any games.
Bravo!
The crowd favorite of the Ren Fair, the jousting battles. Once you've worked up an appetite, sink your teeth into something delicious, because here at the fair they have food from all over the world. I'm with Lady Glennis. Tell me what you have.
Hi, I'm Glennis from Acropolis, and right here we have our chicken pitas, falafel pitas, our famous gyros. We have pierogies, beef and cheese or beef and mushroom. We have dolmas, olives, more falafel, and over here we have spanakopita.
There is one thing in particular I'm thinking of, and here it is, the turkey legs. One way to drink and be merry is to visit one of the many ale stands at the fair. And if you're looking for the royal treatment, you can always have tea with the Queen.
We are most pleased to have you here as our guest.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
And we would like all of your good friends to come and see us. We would love the company.
There's fun for guests of all ages at the Renaissance Fair, and kids 12 and under get in free every weekend.
Coming up, if you love margaritas, tacos, and spectacular views, then we have the place for you.
Just want everybody to have a good time and feel welcome and at home. They can come in and have a shot and a beer or have a taco and a full meal, celebrate an anniversary here, or just we can do it all.
I am an American.
I'm an American.
I'm an American.
Hello, Queens.
We
are all Americans.
And in our America,
We choose to stand
together.
We embrace our differences.
we extend a helping hand.
We believe in love, not hate.
In our America,
We all belong.
And in our America,
we all get to be free.
Free to live
free to love.
And free to dream.
This
is our America.
Chicago weather. Mild 1 minute, wild the next. That's why Chicago trusts Larry Mowry for the most accurate forecast.
So you can prepare and plan ahead.
Watch meteorologist Larry Mowry on ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Welcome to Charge.
You're going to want to check this out.
What's Charge?
It's brilliant.
It's home of the biggest police series in TV history, all coming to you.
Surprise.
Charge is following the evidence and digging for clues.
I think we found our murder weapon.
It's the greatest crime scenes from New York to Miami.
Bingo. It gets better.
It's bringing law and order.
Go ahead, impress me.
It's analyzing, scanning, interrogating,
FBI!
And investigating.
Let's get out there. The only thing that matters is the evidence.
Charge is finding what's missing and bringing home justice.
You're under arrest for murder.
Anything else? You left out the best part.
Oh, it's all on one channel and all for free.
I like working with you.
You've got it pretty good.
And Charge is always
Go now.
on the case.
Watch Charge, now on digital channel 7.3.
Nobody investigates like the ABC7 team.
Wake up with ABC7 Eyewitness News this morning. Welcome back to the show. Barrio is a Latin-inspired restaurant and bar, popular for its food. But just wait until you see its views.
Barrio is a neighborhood Latin restaurant. We focus on Mexican, but there's some Peruvian influences, a little bit of Argentina in there, any kind of Latin food that we enjoy. We are kind of a local neighborhood place in Ghirardelli Square with great cocktails and fantastic food.
We serve a barrio, tacos, salads, quesadillas, enchiladas. Make all our blue corn tortillas pressed by hand. We don't use any machines or anything like that. So it's a labor of love, and it comes through in our food.
We are a margarita house, if you will. It's kind of our flagship, and we lead with that. I always joke that we're like a pool bar, you know, a swim-up pool bar without a pool, because it's just those kind of elements. It's kind of easy, delicious.
We just want everybody to have a good time and feel welcome and at home. They can come in and have a shot and a beer or have a taco and a full meal, celebrate an anniversary here, or just pop in on a weeknight for a casual dinner. We can do it all. We're all local guys. The owners and the management team, we're all veterans, industry people. The list of places we've worked at in the city are endless. And we are in a touristy location, obviously Ghirardelli Square, but it is, like we said, it's one of the most gorgeous places. Our food and drink are very well crafted. We don't cut corners. I don't even think we have a can opener in this building. There's no microwave. So we all just take our food and drink seriously in service, and we want locals to come down here and have a good time, have a margarita, have some tacos, and enjoy the spectacular view.
We're always striving for excellence here, and I think the quality of our tortillas and the quality of the ingredients that we use kind of enable us to do that.
The original Barrio opened in North Beach. It was a little tiny place, hence the name Barrio. It was a little neighborhood place. We wanted to focus on local craft beer, and tacos was kind of our thing. Everybody likes tacos, right? Ghirardelli wanted a local Mexican concept in this space. We're trying to get locals to come down to the square. And so they caught wind of Barrio in North Beach, and they actually came into that location. We did a tasting for them, and they loved us, and we came down here and toured the space. And months later, we were in negotiations, and it kind of just all came together.
We try to keep it simple and not try to overthink it too much. The focus has to really be on everything that we serve. And I joke with customers all the time. They're like, we don't put anything on the menu that we don't love. We're gonna start with our watermelon margarita. We make our juices fresh every day, multiple times a day, actually. It's kind of funny when people be like, oh, would you like a pineapple or a watermelon? They assume you bought something, and then in the meantime, someone's behind you going, nyeh, nyeh. You can just look out this window, and what can beat that? That's all we try to do. We just try to live up to the view.
It is just the food that I really enjoyed from various parts of Mexico that I've lived in and traveled to, as well as part of the culture of, from the cooks that I've also learned from just working in San Francisco, because we have, kitchens are 80% or more Latino based. Cochinita pibil, that was from my time living in the Yucatan, and almost every day if I could, I'd go to this little cart that sold out by noon, and I just fell in love with cochinita. And so when I came back to the city, I was looking around and I was like, oh, where's cochinita? I gotta find it. I couldn't find anything close. So that one I worked on for a while and got it to where I think it's one of the best cochinitas in San Francisco. There's so much to work with here in the Bay Area. So it's kind of a shame if you're not projecting that freshness onto people. So we have like fresh salads that go on top of tacos. And we get local halibut for our ceviche. It makes a difference when you're able to use all these fresh products. Like I said, there's abundance, and it's right at our fingertips.
We obviously want everyone to have a good time. If you leave happy and full, you'll come back.
We have amazing drinks. We have great food. We have a caring staff and great service. Just trying to give everybody a great experience and make a living doing it.
We kind of stick with the simple classics and just try to execute them to the best of our ability.
This is a famous location. We get hundreds of thousands of people a week who walk into the square, and we like to show them what we do and that we're, a local place and that we're bringing good food and drink down here. So yeah, it's been great. We've been well received by the tourists and the locals. So we just want to keep it going.
Coming up, one man's dream turned into reality in his apartment kitchen.
I thought I would be sick of popcorn by now, but I still am eating all the crumbs that aren't big enough to go into the bags as like my lunch on production day.
We ready?
I need to get me a new phone.
You need to trade in that old busted up phone. You can get you a brand new iPhone 16 Pro from T-Mobile. It's on them. At T-Mobile, it's better over here. Families save 20% every month. What a deal.
To all you new and existing customers, trade in your busted old phone and T-Mobile will give you a brand new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. Plus, families can save 20% when they switch.
T-Mobile is one of none. Go get that.
What he said.
A chance of sprinkles followed by a blast of heat when meteorologist Tracy Butler steps into the kitchen.
My forecast is for fun.
She's learning from the best Chicago area chefs and cooking up a storm. Thursdays on Eyewitness News at 11 a.m.
You're not going to want to miss this.
Jeopardy, like the Everest of trivia.
You got to unleash the power.
I like that, yeah.
Weekdays at 3:30 on ABC 7.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights at 10:35 on ABC 7.
Nobody investigates like the ABC 7i team, only on Eyewitness News.
When it comes to forecasting Chicago's unpredictable weather, anyone can look at a screen, but it takes a trusted team of meteorologists to give you the up-to-the-minute detail you need. Take the ABC 7 AccuWeather team. This team knows their stuff. The ABC 7 AccuWeather team.
When breaking news happens, find out instantly with the ABC 7 Chicago News app. Sign up for customized alerts for your neighborhood. Download the ABC 7 Chicago News app.
I've been having a magical experience as a parent, and that magic for me began at conception. I had never done it to completion with secretion because I never went on birth control. My poorly straightened hair and commitment to jazz band was doing all the work for me.
Picture this.
Together in one place?
ESPN Plus content is now on Disney Plus.
Looking forward to being on the same team with you.
Can you imagine the fun?
The greatest heroes, action, and stories.
The stuff dreams are made of.
Together like never before.
What a story!
The greatest stories live here.
Can you believe it?
With ESPN Plus content on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers.
Welcome back to the show. From Chipotle Cheddar to Habanero Ranch, Jerry Pop is locally crafted popcorn winning over taste buds with its bold flavors.
I thought I would be sick of popcorn by now, but I still am eating all the crumbs that aren't big enough to go into the bags as like my lunch on production day. We are popping off. Like that. I basically produce craft popcorn, all kinds of zany flavors like PB&J and Habanero Ranch. And I sell them at pop-ups and on shelves at bars and breweries and markets, and also I do catering. I'm Jerry, and I own Jerry Pop. I make locally handcrafted San Francisco popcorn. People generally really like the popcorn. Actually, people at parties for years have been like, where can I buy this? Why don't you sell this? And I was like, Oh, it's just a great hobby of mine. I like my job. I'm good with what I'm doing. I never want to be stressed about popcorn is like a line I would use a lot. But then eventually, you know, I wanted to give this a shot full time. I wanted to not have a regret later of, wow, I wish I had given popcorn a shot. So I'm giving it the shot. Okay. I have been doing popcorn as a hobby for about 10 years now. I got into it back in college. My roommate's parents made a run to the grocery store for him and kind of the house, and they brought back a 10-pound drum of popcorn kernels. We didn't want to waste the popcorn, so we kind of took it on as a challenge to get through the 10 pounds of kernels before the end of school. And you can only eat so much like plain buttered and salted popcorn, so we started experimenting with different flavors and seasonings, some sweet, some spicy, very basic stuff. Just shake it up. I went on this big weight loss kick, replacing a lot of junk food with popcorn and other things. So I got an air popper and made like super healthy popped popcorn as my go-to snack with like all kinds of flavors and stuff to make it interesting. I ended up losing about 130 pounds. As the years went on, I started experimenting with more kind of weird flavors. I'd be inspired by a beer I had or like a meal. Like I have like a pad thai popcorn that's inspired by pad thai. That you wouldn't kind of think, oh, I want pad thai on a popcorn, but it actually kind of works. Oh, we got the star of the show, salt. One of my suppliers for buttermilk powder that I use in my habanero ranch launched goat milk powder, and I was like, oh, I want to make a popcorn. I have a
Welcome back into New Year's Now. I'm Austin Westfall. We've been checking in with Stephanie Bertini throughout the evening in New York City. Will Nunley has also been checking in with us from Nashville. He's down there on Broadway, and he's giving us the sights and sounds of what he's seeing out there. Will, getting a little more packed?
Austin, let me set the scene for you here. We're getting a little loud in Nashville tonight, okay? I'm going to do my best to hear you at this point. Let's see where I think living on a prayer at the moment. Let me show you how this dance floor has transformed, because just about 20 minutes ago, we had a live band on stage, but now the people have taken over. The fog machines are going. The people have taken over the stage. They're dancing. They're having a fantastic time. This is what we're going to see. And I'll tell you what, this is just one scene here. Miranda Lambert's rooftop is where we are tonight. They're being fantastic hosts, and we're having a great time here at Miranda Lambert's. But every rooftop bar in Nashville is at max capacity. That's the theme. Let's take you out to Broadway. It's just on the other side of us. My buddy Luke looks around here, and you see, yes, thousands of people walking up and down Broadway right now. We have about 5 blocks of the city here on Broadway that have been shut down to make room for the pedestrians that are hanging out tonight on Broadway. But look, if you can, there's Jason Aldean's. That is, let's see, about a 4-story building with at least 3 different outdoor patios, all of them filled up. And again, folks, this is just one little corner here of Broadway. And would you believe it, that there's a whole other party with probably 10,000 plus people at Bicentennial Mall, because that's Nashville's Big Bash, and that's where they're going to drop the note down here. In about an hour and a half, the music note is what's going to come down. And then we have a fireworks display that we're going to try to cut through some of the clouds and fog that we have in Music City tonight, but that's going to be a spectacular show. Nashville knows how to do two holidays really well. They do a lot of holidays great, but they really know how to throw this New Year's Eve party, and they know how to throw a 4th of July party as well. So those are two of the biggest celebrations that Nashville is known for, and they're certainly pulling that off here tonight. We have about 42 degrees, the lightest of rain, just a little mist overhead, nothing that's going to stop the party. Every rooftop just jamming. Folks having a good time tonight so far. Everything has gone off nice and peaceful here on Broadway. That's what folks want to see, and absolutely what they're delivering here tonight. So we're going to see the fireworks, actually, Oster, from our vantage point here. They're going to come up over our head from the other side of this rooftop patio here at Miranda Lambert's, and she's actually on stage just down the road there at Bicentennial Plaza, along with Luke Bryan, Keith Urban, some names like that. So every block, everywhere you look, there's a party going on in Nashville, Tennessee. And then I think once that fireworks display is over, all those people are going to find their way back here to Broadway. So just because it's midnight, 12:30, 1 o'clock, oh, that's just when things really get cooking here. So lots still ahead of us here tonight. Back to you.
So you're a Nashville pro. Can you explain to us who have never been to Nashville before what a honky-tonk is? Are you at a honky-tonk right now, Will?
I wouldn't consider Miranda Lambert's a honky-tonk. Okay. Honky-tonk's typically a little bit smaller. Think of a dive bar size, right? Where you got dollar bills stapled to the roof, and you walk in, there's some smoke in the air, and you got a guitar player in the corner, maybe a room for a 3 or 4 piece band. You know, that's kind of a honky-tonk, maybe a little bit smaller size. But it's also just about the music, the vibe, the feeling, and when you have that live music presence. And that's what really is so magic about this city in particular, is because you have so much music in so many spaces, and there's something for everywhere. We got, you know, Don't Stop Believing. We've gone from having a country band up here all night. Now we have a DJ on stage to really help kind of elevate the tempo and bring things up here tonight. So, and that's being repeated. A lot of these bars and venues here, like this one, being 3 different floors, they have a different theme sometimes for every floor. And so you're going to find exactly where you want to party when you come to a city like Nashville, because they've got a scene for you just about everywhere.
So, Will, right now we're looking at an overhead shot of Broadway. Can you explain to us, again, for the folks who have not been to Nashville before, explain what Broadway is?
So Broadway is going to be the heart of the entertainment district. Of course, we have lots of big hotels like Gaylord Opryland that are huge venues in and of themselves, but Broadway is the concentration. This is where you have places like Printer's Alley, where a lot of the legendary performers and songwriters would come out and cut their teeth at performing in a lot of these bars. So Broadway is on the riverfront here. It's Cumberland River is just a few feet away from me here. It's the heart of the city. This is kind of where you start with the tempo and the pulse of the city. So this is our largest entertainment district. And if you go about 10 blocks up from where I'm standing, that's when you hit Nashville's Music Row, and that's where all the recording studios are, and things like ASCAP and BMI and the writers' rooms. And so that's that direction. But this is where the best of the live entertainment is kind of concentrated, and it starts to spread out from here.
All right, Will Nunley. Can't thank you enough. We'll be checking in soon. Have fun out there, man. I know you probably can't hear me, but we'll talk to you soon, okay? Yeah, it's really loud out there. We were here in Living on a Prayer, pretty loud out there. Let's look at some other live images. We've got a bunch of them coming in. So New York City, as you might imagine, getting rowdier and rowdier. And while we're talking about audio, let's listen in to how loud it is out in New York.